for the return of Parliament that I foreshadowed yesterday. As people are aware, on the 22nd of September, the day after I and the Governor-General return to Australia from Her Majesty's funeral, we will host the National Memorial in the Great Hall. That will be held at 11 a.m. on that day. The next day, we will return as a Parliament to have a motion of condolence in the House of Representatives and the Senate to be conducted that day. Parliament will commence at 8 a.m. on that morning. The motion of condolence will be moved by myself and seconded by the Leader of the Opposition. We will speak for 15 minutes each. The next speakers will speak for 10 minutes, the Deputy Prime Minister and the Leader of the National Party. Parliament will then sit to allow for 5-minute contributions from members of Parliament until such time as it is ready to be put to the Parliament. That will be observed in the usual way by standing. The Parliament will then sit as early as possible the following Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday, the 26th to the 28th of September. During those 3 days, as people are aware, has been previously foreshadowed, I'll be travelling to Japan on the 26th of September with the former Prime Ministers Howard, Abbott and Turnbull for the memorial service for former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. And so Richard Marles will be the acting Prime Minister during at least 2 of those days. We're waiting to finalise those arrangements. Just one further issue that has been finalised is that tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. at the Lodge, I'll be hosting the Heads of Mission from the Commonwealth to commemorate the life and service of Her Majesty. That will be attended by a number of my Cabinet colleagues in order to engage with our fellow Commonwealth countries in order to pay tribute, and we believe that that is appropriate. Can I thank the Leader of the Opposition, who I consulted with this morning about the return of Parliament, for his cooperation and for the agreement both with the Leader of the Opposition and the Leader of the Opposition in the Senate. This is a time where government continues to function. The Cabinet met this morning, but it's not a time for partisanship. This is a time for unity of Australia as a nation, a time where we are grieving and acknowledging the contribution of Queen Elizabeth II as our head of state for 70 years, as well as we yesterday, of course, commemorated as well King Charles III and his appointment as Australia's head of state. Katie?
Thank you. The nation's capital's played a really important role since the passing of the Queen just a few days ago, and as Senator for the ACT, I'm really pleased that the nation's capital has been able to fulfil its functions. Also because I know Her Majesty was very fond of Canberra. I know that because in 2011, when I was Chief Minister and she visited Australia, she used the nation's capital as her base, as her home away from home, and I had the opportunity to learn from her just how fond she was both of Australia and of the nation's capital. And I think tomorrow morning's bringing together the Commonwealth Heads of Mission is a really important way of marking her service, a remarkable world leader, a remarkable Queen, and give the nation's capital the opportunity to pay their respects at this time when so many people are grieving. In terms of the Senate, I know that the Senate will, for the condolence motion, I know that there will be many senators that want to pay their respects to the Queen. We saw many senators remain here over the weekend in order to do that, and we will mirror the arrangements that the Prime Minister's outlined in the House. Importantly, the week of the 26th to the 28th will also give the Senate the opportunity to progress some important government legislation that we are unable to progress this week because of the changed arrangements. But I also appreciate senators for their agreement in order to keep that important legislation progressing before the end of this year.